Hi, in this video, we are going to learn about the knowledge representation. Knowledge representation is an important aspect in artificial intelligence for various reasons. Let us proceed with the approaches and the issues. Knowledge representation is important in artificial intelligence for various reasons. To begin with, reasoning. Knowledge representation enables AI systems to reason effectively by organizing information in a structured manner. For example, in a medical diagnosis system, knowledge about the symptoms, diseases, treatments can be represented using logical rules to infer the potential diagnosis. Then inference. Here, AI systems uses knowledge representation to make logical deductions and draw conclusions. For instance, in a NLP system, semantic networks can be used to infer the meaning of sentences based on the relationships between words and concepts. Then comes learning. Knowledge representation provides a framework for integrating the new knowledge with the existing information. Thereby, it allows AI systems to learn from the data and experiences. In a recommendation system, user preferences and item attributes can be represented in a knowledge graph, enables the system to learn from the past interactions and make personalized recommendations. Then in communication, knowledge representation facilitates the communication between AI systems and humans by presenting the information in an understandable format. For example, in a virtual assistant, knowledge about the tasks, preferences, and context can be represented using ontologies, which enables the assistant to understand and respond to user queries effectively. Then, in problem solving, AI systems use knowledge representation to break down complex problems into manageable components, making them easier to analyze and solve. In a robotic system, environmental knowledge such as maps and obstacle locations can be represented using spatial representations, allowing the robot to navigate and plan its actions efficiently. As shown here in this figure, domain knowledge, raw data, percept, they help in refining the internal representation to derive the final facts. Also, reasoning is required in order to refine this internal representation. The knowledge representation has a lot of approaches. The first one is the simple relational knowledge structure. This relational structure organizes the knowledge into tables or matrices where entities are represented as rows, attributes as columns, relationships as entries or connections between the entities. This is a simple relational knowledge structure. Here each row is representing a specific record. This relational structure is representing the complex relationships between the students and subjects in a structured and tabular format. Utilizing the relational structures in the knowledge representation, it's very simple and flexible. Also, it is very easier to organize and query information. Next is the inheritable knowledge structure. This refers to how information is stored and passed down within systems, often organized through has and is a relationship. So one such example of this inheritable knowledge structure is given here. Then comes semantic network and frame collection. Here, semantic networks organize information like a family tree. So where each person is connected by relationships like parent, child, or sibling. Frame collections are like templates that's going to hold the specific details about each person, such as their name, age, and occupation. For example, in AI, imagine a semantic network. Each fruit is connected by relationships like is a or has relationship. Is a relationship, for example, apple is a fruit, and has relationship, apple has color. As far as the frame collection is concerned, it could store specific information about each fruit, like its color, taste, and nutritional value. The next is the inferential knowledge structure. This inferential knowledge, it helps artificial intelligence to make smart guesses based on what it knows. It's like when we see clouds and infer that it might rain because we have already learned that clouds often precede rain. For example, in artificial intelligence, if a system knows that most dogs have four legs and it barks, it can infer that something with those traits likely a dog, even if it has never seen that particular dog before. Next is the procedural knowledge structure. This is like a recipe. It tells you step by step of how to do something. For example, this could be instructions of teaching a robot of how to walk. For example, in AI, the procedural knowledge could be set of instructions for training a chatbot. So basically, training the chatbot would include certain steps like you analyze the customer questions, selecting the appropriate responses, and then adjusting answers based on the feedback. Now, let us look into the issues found in the knowledge representation. First is the dynamic knowledge handling. Here, it is difficult to represent and update knowledge in a dynamic environments because here information is changing over time. In dynamic environments, the informations are changing over time. Then multimodal representation. Here, there are lots of data coming from various sources which includes text, images, audio, sensor data. We need to get a unified representation. Then in terms of temporal representation, we need the representation of knowledge that's going to evolve over time, maybe including the historical data, sequential events, and dynamic processes. As far as the spatial representation is concerned, yes, spatial relationships and structures. For example, maps would be there, some layouts would be there, then geometric configurations could be there, then common sense reasoning. How we are addressing the challenge of representing and reasoning about the common sense knowledge, which includes intuitive reasoning and everyday understanding. Next is the cross-domain knowledge integration. We need to integrate knowledge from diverse domains or sources to support interdisciplinary reasoning. Then privacy preserving representation. The knowledge is to be represented in a way that preserves privacy and confidentiality, especially in sensitive domains like healthcare. Semantic ambiguity resolution. We need to resolve semantic ambiguities in NLP. Knowledge fusion. There is a need to integrate uncertain knowledge from multiple sources so that we need to derive more accurate and reliable representations. And then comes ethical and social implications. We need to address ethical and societal implications of knowledge representation, including biases, fairness, and transparency in artificial intelligence decision making. Thank you.